They made their weapons and tools of iron and bronze, and their jewels of gold. As they didn't have their own writing, only some fragments of their language remained. They were polytheists and believed in life after death, burying their dead with food, weapons, and such devices they might need in the afterlife. Their tombs can be found by the hundreds in Bulgaria, where they've been excavated by archaeologists, and the relics found in them have been scientifically evaluated. From Sunny Beach, we reach Nesebar, one of the pearls of Bulgaria, by car or ship in a short time. The ancient Mesembria has been a museum town since 1944 and a part of the UNESCO World Heritage. The town, with a population of 9,500, is mainly known for its wooden houses built in the 19th and 20th centuries, while the relics of its distant past are not so eye-catching. Nesebar was built on an 850-meter-long and 300-meter-wide peninsula, which is linked to the mainland by a narrow dam. Buses arrive regularly at the station located at the neck of the dam from Varna, Burgas, and Sofia. Over 30 centuries ago, the first inhabitants of the settlement were Thracians, who inhabited the northeast part of the Balkan Peninsula. Judging from the Thracian and Scythian motifs on the archaeological relics, there was a bigger Thracian influence here than the other cities of the seaside. The craftsmen of Mesembria made the weapons and helmets for the neighboring Thracian tribes. They dealt mainly with the Greeks, but their ships traveled all over the Black Sea, even to Egypt. In the 6th century BC, Doric settlers arrived to the peninsula, which was easy to protect. The town kept its Doric complexion even during the Roman reign, contrary to the two Ionic settlements, Odessus, which is Varna today, and Apollonia, which is Sozopol today, which became Roman. Mesembria rode out the conquest quite well, but its commercial importance declined. This can be accounted for by the commercial connections with the Byzantine Empire, because it was much closer than the capital city, Rome. From the 5th century, Mesembria was an episcopal seat surrounded by strong walls, and its first Christian churches were built during this time. Emperor Justinianus left with his army against the Bulgarian Khan from here. From the 10th century, the town lived its everyday life, sometimes under the reign of the Byzantines and sometimes under Bulgaria. Rich merchantmen lived in the strong and populous town in the time of Tsar Ivan Alexander. They made it the town of 70 churches, although they did it to show their wealth rather than for the sake of their spiritual bliss. In the 15th century, the foraged, emptied coast had been conquered by the Turks, and the peninsula was in an exceptional situation. A Turkish traveler, Evliya Çelebi, writes, "The small but totally intact, fortified town is inhabited mainly by Greek people. It's abundant in vineyards and fruit gardens. Its main products are grapes, wine, and salt. In the harbor, many kinds of fish are sold." None of the Christian churches was converted into a mosque. The destruction of the town happened later in the 18th century when the front of the Russian-Turkish War encroached upon them. Local people talk about 40 churches, but only 10 of them are intact, the others but ruins. The most significant ones are the Church of the Almighty and the Church of St. John the Baptist. Both were built during the early phase of Byzantine architecture. The floor plan of both buildings takes the shape of a Greek cross, and the exteriors are ornamented by blind arches with brick patterns. On the ruins of the basilica located on Mitropoliska Street, we can also study the features of Byzantine architecture through the remnants, which retain much of the simplicity of ancient Christianity. The 25-meter-long, three-aisled basilica is the oldest church of the town. More and more people come here to escape from the marauding Karjalis. In this way, the population of Nesebar replenished, and the town, once consisting of spacious merchant houses with large courtyards, became a crowded eastern town with meandering streets. It was the world of fishermen, tradesmen, and vineyard owners living their patriarchal life. In 1885, Nesebar also became part of the Bulgarian Principality. Between 1885 and 1905, Houses, upholding characteristic Greek traditions, were built by fusing the elements of Greek architecture of the Black Sea region and those of the Bulgarian revival. These houses are present-day monuments. The typical houses of Nesebar are two-storied, the lower floor built of stone, the upper of wood with wooden balconies and projecting eaves. High, massive stone fences surround inner courtyards. Downstairs there are no windows, and the two-wing door is like a gate. The windows upstairs are high and narrow. In the rooms, the ceiling is held by carved wooden beams. We can look back at the hotels and beaches of Sunny Beach from the terraces of the restaurants built in the old city wall. In the town, the gate tower that Emperor Theophilus had built is still standing, and the windmill from the times of the Turks is still visible, as well as the remainders of the medieval defensive wall. The narrow passage connecting the mainland with the town is protected from the sea by a low concrete wall. In the past, the middle of the dam was closed by a wall, and in it was a gate, which was protected by the tower. We can cross the dam by car today to get to the car park on the right, from where we can continue our trip only on foot. The end station for microbuses can also be found here. The building of the Museum of Archaeology rises over the car park.